Okay, hi. We're going to make this video in reply with a message from Mike to my Facebook, and he was mentioning that you've been doing forms all this while for 8 years under Yipman lineage, which is good. And your question is whether how you are going to apply all those forms when you do Qisao with your Sifu and also some practitioner from other schools, when you can't use your speed because they overpower them with your strength. Okay, so now before I would like to answer to that question, I would like to answer that with two questions to you first. First thing first, do you been able to understand your form completely? Being understanding the form doesn't mean that you memorize the forms and be able to practice the forms, but to be able to answer to why this and why that in the forms. For instance, like let's say, everyone knows that we're practicing the form by using our stance. We call Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma. So now, why Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma? So have you ever wondered why this question comes to picture? Why Yi Ji? Why not Sam Ji? Why not Sei Ji? And also, why Kim Yong, not Kim Ma, Kim Gao, Kim Ngao, or somebody else? So why the names comes about is one thing. And secondly, why your Tan Sao has to end here and not here, not here, not here, not here, not anywhere else? Why your Fok Sao has to be like this, not like this, not like this, or anything else? So now you should be able to answer to that question first before we can even talk about the technicality of the forms. That's one. Now, considering if you'll be able to answer to that question, why this and why that, second question is, do you pressure tested your forms? Okay, because like by practicing alone at home by performing the forms without pressure testing it, if you're going to apply those hands techniques into Qisao, it might not going to work because when you try to Qisao, there's another force coming to you with your hands approach. So that's why you need to pressure test your forms. That two questions. Why this, why that, and also pressure tested your forms. Now, the third question you was asking that whether you should train with weights. Now, my answer to you is that there are two, yes and no. Yes, to the extent that because in Southern Shaolin we always believe that there are 6 stages in strength or power generations here. To become a martial artist, first level that you need to get through, at least you need to have basic strength, which you need to practice with some weights, nothing more than 1 kg. Okay, because like you don't need to be a bodybuilder or weightlifter to practice martial art, especially Wing Chun. But at least basic strength you need to have first in order for you to get to the second stage where you call it the Geng or Fat Jing or Fat Geng, the second level of energy. Then only we talk about the third level of energy where the late Grandmaster Chu Songtin always mention is Nim Lek, the intention energy. Then you go about the Qi, Sun Lek, and King Lek. We don't have to talk about the rest of the levels of energies over here. So now back to the question that why your speed has been overpowered by some strength practitioner out there. So I'm going to just answer you through my own experience where I'm going to ask a few students to just demonstrate this. Just give me a minute. Okay, now you see, I experienced this before when after I have learned some certain Chi Sao skills, and when I try to apply my Chi Sao, it happens to become like this because most of the time, speed will occur and also speed will conquer the rest of the things. Like example, this, okay? Okay, now see, we are going to just do some normal Chi Sao that we do. Of course, roll, roll, roll. Of course, this rolling you won't end up for the whole night, right? Of course, you want to do a little bit of initiative with some attacking. Like, then as long as I can do some speed around here, I should be able to take care of your opponents most of the time. But somehow rather, sometimes it will end up something like this, yeah? Jason, sometimes. Okay, you might be able to, you might face this kind of opponent which is like stronger than me or even bigger than me. So now with this, I won't be able to use my, what you call it, the speed anymore because like as long as he uses the concept of Lat Sao Zik Chung or the forward intent, it's going to be quite tough on me because like normal Qi Sao like this, I can use speed to this. You see that? I won't be able to do any fancy move. I get hit already with that. So now, if I have this kind of opponent which he used his body strength against me, or maybe he tried to press me down with this, I won't be able to even turn. You see that? It's very difficult for me to do my fast rolling and my fast hand anymore. So what I do is that I need to use another element. Remember the 6th level of energy that I mentioned just now? If we have basic strengths, okay, fine. So I'm not going to fight strength with strength here. So this is whereby I need to use my 2nd level of energy. Yes, rolling is still rolling, but notice what happens to him. Okay? Notice what happened to him. Notice his head and also his shoulder. So now, as soon as he can't, he find it difficult for him to stand, this is whereby the hand goes in, and it is quite difficult for him to block. It will be quite difficult for him to block any of these hands because why? The intention of the strike is already locked down to the solar plexus, whereby he can't do anything to lift up. Maybe you say that, hey, this is what compliance or what, but it's seriously, it's quite difficult for him to lock up because why? This is not strength. Because like if I'm going to use body strength to press him down like this, he can just let go and he push me over and I'm going to lose everything out. But in this condition here, I don't use body strength. I use another level of energy, which is this lockdown, and this is projected into the solar plex where he can't use anything anymore. Because he can try to push me over, but still the hands are still there. Okay, it's going to be quite tough for him to execute all these things. So now my takedown point of this is always two things. Strategies and abilities in your chi sao, it has to work hand in hand at all times. Strategy are the forms, the movement and skills that you develop through your practice. Abilities are the understanding that you can develop from the forms to execute your strategy. Keep it simple. Strategy is like a Ferrari, but a Ferrari without a fuel, it can't move. Strategy means nothing. Your skill and moves means nothing. Ability without strategy means you are just like a raging bull. You have the power, but you are just a no-brainer. So now, how to use your ability to execute all those moves to execute your strategy, right? So of course, always refer back to your Sifu. He will be able to answer to most of these questions. But of course, if you have any doubts regards that, I will be glad to just help out. This is just my interpretation of our Seed Wing Chun combat system. So I believe I've answered your questions to some certain level. And if you have any doubts, please ask me. That I'll be glad to help. Thank you.